What is happening, everyone? Jonathan Dunkerley here. You can call me Dunk. You don't have to ever reinvent the wheel when you're creating content. Just find somebody. You can take the content that I'm making and make a carbon copy of what I'm doing. Just complete copy of what I'm doing and make it you could stream like I do. I also repurpose content. That's what I'm saying. Like you use AI to unlock things with AI automations. But I take this live stream and I'm using a tool called StreamYard. You could use OBS if you want. OBS is a free option. A couple of reasons that I'm using StreamYard is because I'm using a laptop right now to stream from. And one thing with a StreamYard versus OBS is processes everything on your computer. And StreamYard, it actually processes it. I can't even speak in the cloud. So it's going to be a way that you could do this on a little bit older computer without having to worry about it. Is that StreamYard is a paid service, just so you know. But then I'm also able to save my individual face, like this feed of just my face, without having to also take up a bunch of processing power. And then I repurpose that into shorts, which help my channel grow, get me more ad revenue. And all of that is done actually with an automation tool that I use called Descript. So again, I'm just getting into these automations that I'm using, AI. I drop both versions of this stream into Descript. Descript then cleans up this version, which if you saw my video I posted earlier today, that's actually a repurpose of yesterday's live stream, but slightly cut down by about 15 minutes. I just cleaned it up slightly. And then AI also replaces, say I fumble my words and it cleans up a spot and it needs to create a word. It uses all of the audio tracks from my other videos and that to help fill in that gap, and it will generate if there's like a sentence that needs to be rephrased or anything, and then it will reanimate my mouth. So it will actually look like I'm saying it in the video. So it's a really cool tool. You're able to quickly repurpose these videos. And now you have another really cool piece of content that helps you automate your income with AI. Have you ever heard of Opus Clip? Descript does something very similar where you could take your video, drop it in there, and it will clip the video into a whole bunch of different little smaller versions. One thing I did learn, this is frustrating, my only complaint, and if you're watching Spotter, I'd love for you to actually address this, is because I use this a lot for live streams, it doesn't necessarily pick up the title for live streams, which is a little bit frustrating. A little bit frustrating. It just shows that it's the other one. But what I've been doing, for instance, I'll go into today's. So what I've been doing is I'm always making sure that I find at least 2 titles that I like. So you could see like today's is the one I'm doing right now, unlock $1,000 days with AI automation. The reason why it's $1,000, again, it could be anything. It could be more than 1,000. Start with $1. It's not going to be like overnight you're going to get $1,000. It means that you could build an income stream that literally makes you that much money every single day because you're using AI to generate leads. And then you use AI to reach out to those leads. You use AI to nurture those leads. And you use AI basically just to run your funnel for you. And personally, I try to always do those things with integrity and help other people. Just so you know, I'm not ever trying to like hard sell anybody. I'm just trying to let you know what I'm doing. And if you want to go a different route, power to you. And I have 2 different ones. So like here is, where is it? What I did go with? Unlock. This is the one right here. Unlock $1,000 days. And you can see right here, it says number, something with days. Also, when it shows the word days, it actually, a number with days does really well in a title. So it's saying this is a really good title. Look, it's actually 8.5% or times more likely to do well versus something that doesn't have it. Here's AI secrets to earn $1,000 daily. Now I've used that and I've actually generated some thumbnail options, and I picked these ones. And then I went over to this tool, which if you want to set this up yourself, I'm using a tool called Replicate. And what Replicate is it's basically I'm not gonna try to say this without sounding too complicated. Replicate is a place where you could run custom AI builds. And one that I'm using is one made by somebody named, it's not their real name, by the way, Luca Taco. That would be a really cool name, especially if it's all lower cases. Okay, so when you use this Laura, you're going to be able to actually create some of the images. You could use other ones, but I use this particular Laura. I've installed it in here and I cloned my face and then store it on a platform called Hugging Face, which is free. So actually doing all that, the only thing that costs any money in that is actually training your face, and then it stores it on Hugging Face. But if you could automate, you could do all of these things manually. Every single thing I'm talking about, you could do it manually. And if you want to, power to you. Go for it. Like, people have been doing this manually for a long time, but the thing with AI is it's just automating the things that we used to do manual. If you don't know what AI is, there's no such thing as artificial intelligence. It's not a thing. It's a buzzword that people use for marketing. It's called machine learning and large language models. Again, I'm not going to get technical into that stuff, but it's not AI. Cutting things with automations and then it does it in like large language models are going to make it so you're going to be able to communicate with it in natural English versus you having to speak computer. If you speak computer, awesome. Not everybody speaks computer, so it's all good. So I have this right here, and then I can even take images that are already working really well. Say I'm going to use it for, I'll just show you some of the ones that I've done. Here's some like thumbnails that I did. And I know not everyone looks perfectly like me, but here's some marketing images. I didn't end up liking the ones that have the thing, didn't really do the text at the bottom very well. But you could use these images and I pump them out 4 at a time. And then I schedule them on a tool called Radar right here. And I'm posting them to multiple platforms, whole bunch of different platforms over and over again. And I have this scheduled out for 180 days, which goes till pretty much the end of June. Now, I post an image like I just showed you, and then I post a text post, which is just showing, I'll just open it so you can see. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. See more. But it's something like this where, it's something helpful. And then here's a link. And if they end up clicking this link, it will go to here. I'm just going to click right here. If I click this link telling you how I make money doing this, showing you exactly what to do, copy what I'm doing. Now, if you go right here, it's going to be basically a lead capture page. And if they give their name and their email address, like a bunch of cool cats, then they enter my ecosystem. And again, AI will take over for part of that. In that first email that's delivered, let me just click to the first page, is I have a checklist, which I'm constantly updating and fine tuning. And you want to know a little secret? I actually jacked this from somebody else and I modified it for my own purposes. And you could do the same exact thing. They told me I could, by the way. They said it was fine. And I'm telling you, it's fine if you want to do the same thing. So if you do grab this, go through that same funnel and go and grab that, then you're going to be able to grab this thing and you can go file, make a copy, and you make a copy either way. And you could just mark things as done. It's not going to, I just go back. There we go. I don't want it to be done because that's the template. So mark things as done. And then you could have your own copy and then you can modify another copy, make 2 copies, have one for yourself to go through this, and then have another one for your own niche. If it's the same exact niche, all you got to do is copy me and change out your affiliate links. And that's actually the way that you can make money very organically doing this is by promoting something called recurring affiliate links. I'm promoting tools that I use for my business. Now, certain things say you're promoting a different business, there's certain ones here that you'd actually be able to still use the same. Go high level, which is email autoresponder. If you're using another one, power to you, use what works for you. But then there's also high level snapshot. If you want to copy my snapshot, which is just a modification of one that was given to me. So copy like an artist, steal like an artist. It's a real thing. Then Facebook pages, that's where I actually post a lot of my reels. And you want to know a little secret? If you have a Facebook page or account, you could actually create a whole bunch of Facebook pages and have yourself, you could be the admin for all of these pages. You don't need to have a new email account and a whole new Facebook account for every single one. So that's a little hack. You don't need to have a new one for every single one. So just think about that. Facebook page is an easy place to start in addition to a Facebook profile, by the way. So if you have your Facebook profile, you post there, but now you can multiply whatever you're posting on your Facebook profile to a whole bunch of Facebook pages. Every time instead of you going and posting it to however many Facebook pages you have, you could use this magical tool called Radar again and post it. It may not get you leads in one day, but think about it this way. You're post over and over again. People are going to organically find things like reels, start following your page, and you're going to actually start building an organic audience. for these pages. Now you're going to have a whole bunch of pages that are going to be places that you could get leads whenever you need them. Post in there. You're going to be able to grow your email list, all these things. But you got to know that it's going to take you a little time to grow it if you're doing it organically. But being able to actually just do this, grow it organically, and do it by, instead of just growing one at a time, you can grow many using a tool like this. Go check this out. I think it's a great tool. Again, I have that actually in my checklist. So if see how it actually is very helpful when you ever have the point of a lead magnet with whatever you're giving somebody is to help them get to the next step. So like I have Easy AI Poster as my affiliate link. It goes to Radar. And I was mentioning like another example. Say you're a dog trainer and you train dogs. What are certain things that every dog owner needs? I might be crazy, but I think that dogs eat every day. I don't have a dog, but they eat, right? They eat food. Pretty sure. Just, and if you don't know and you're like, I don't have no idea, ChatGPT. It's this AI bot thing. We're talking about how to automate things with AI. Go and ask it to look up recurring affiliate products for whatever your niche is. And make sure you have that little browser tab or search tab selected, and you're going to be able to find a whole bunch of stuff super duper easily. It's pretty cool. Cool. If you do want to grab this particular one, go grab the Spotter Studio trial before it runs out. We almost have like 10 hours now. If you did want to grab the other one, it's right there, AI Profit Checklist, and that will give you my checklist. It's right the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It's this checklist that you're going to be able to go through. You capture the email list. No matter which person whatever your niche is, you need that. Whether you use Go High Level or another tool, that's all good. Then the snapshot, right there if you need it. If you want to modify it, maybe it's a different tool, swap out the name of your tool or whatever your service is or whatever your product is, and put yours in there. Use that as a template. Facebook pages, super easy to make a bunch of Facebook pages. And then also your personal Facebook profile. YouTube. One thing is I'd say YouTube should always be part of that. No matter where you're posting video content, you ask me, YouTube should always be part of it. If you're making video content, put it everywhere that you want to, but also put it on YouTube. So wherever you put it, just make sure that you also put it on YouTube. Then if you want to basically make yourself a little more omnipresent, use a tool like Radar. If you want to find more videos and trending topics, Spotter. Remember, links right down below. ChatGPT is a great way to do it. And there's so many other options as well. Canva is a great tool in order to do they have a free version that does amazing things. And I think if you pay for a year for their pro version, which also has a lot of good features, $110 a year. I come down to $9 or so a month, but it's worth it to me. Replicate is the tool that I use in order to automate my thumbnails and my text posts or my image posts. And again, can post them onto a whole bunch of different platforms. And if you like this type of post and you see this, you could just grab this and put it into a generator or into ChatGPT and tell it to create a reverse prompt. And if you grab that checklist again, I'm trying to help you succeed. So I'm just giving you everything that you need to do good, do well, do good, do well. Hey, you can yell at me if I use bad English, okay? But I had this analyze this image and title. Write me a prompt to generate the same image using an AI image generator, like replicate. But if you, again, I went over this yesterday. If you don't want to put your face into it, you could use just Dolly, which comes with ChatGPT Plus, which is the $20 version. And it just comes with it. And then I have this little other prompt that I created. And it's basically, I want variations of it. Basic structure. You want the background to be slightly different. The color of the board should be slightly different. And that way I could just take the same image and just spin it a bunch of different times and come up with a whole bunch of different variations of that. And now AI has automated pumping out a whole bunch of images. I just take that new version of the prompt. I go back over to replicate, and then I would just drop it into the prompt. And then another little thing, and I realize that this is something I think that even people that use replicate and AI generation tools like this don't understand, and they just don't realize is a thing. See where it says seed right here? And it's, for me, it says 37438. Every time that you generate an image or video with AI, it always has something called a seed that it uses. and it's like a style that it creates. So what I did is I was generating images until I found one that I really liked. I'm like, I want them all to look something like this. And what I would do, you can come down, but if you come here, right here, you could find the seed. And if I was to come to this on replicate again, so this is like what it would look like on the actual page, you come right down here to where it says seed. And if you paste the seed right there, it's going to look consistent. And you're going to have a lot of consistent style of output generation. So this way, this is what I did. I spun this. I came out, I found a image that I liked. I actually was using stuff from Shinify. He's been doing the same exact strategy and it works really well for him. So I said, you know what? He's doing really well. This is a lesson right here. If something's working already, copy people. You don't have to completely rip them off. I'm like, I put my own face on those types of images. I generated new images. I just saw what was working for somebody else and I copied their strategy. And I'm going to continue doing that because it works. And the more and more we do that, we can do it more quickly. So I could just take this, drop that in there, give me my remix prompt, spin it. And then I was able to generate, okay, I'll drop it into replicate, create all of these images. Okay, these ones didn't turn out how I want. Spin it one more time. And it costs like a penny or two per image to generate. If I was to do this manually, my time is worth more than a penny or two. And I was able to generate half a year's worth of these images for under $10. So is your time, is half a year of your time worth $10 is the question I'm going to ask you. And then here, let me show you this one real quick too. Did my thumbnails for these videos using the same exact strategy. And what I will do is I would use Spotter, and I took this image right here that was already working. Spotter recommended it, and I want to be in the image. So what I did was I went to, let me just open up ChatGPT. I have a thumbnail prompt generator. Just have a conversation with ChatGPT and give it a good, this is what I want you to do. And then once you've come up with an output that you like, tell it you need to have a custom instruction. And I believe that this is not available in the free version. So if I hit instructions, I can just paste this in here. And now it's giving me kind of an example of the types of things that I want based off of what it's already generated. So now I have this conversation. It knows the type of content that I want, the examples that I like. And now I pasted, for instance, this image, which was the one that I got from Spotter, which is right here. What did I click on? Did I scroll down too far? But I pasted this in here. Use that prompt, which is in my checklist. Remember, if you want that, go to aiprofitchecklist.com, and then it will bring you to the landing page, opt in. And then if you feel like, hey, I don't want to give you my email address, all good. If you want to go and grab, I post it in my school all the time without having to opt in. So if you want to go hang out over there, just go to school.com/wealth on autopilot. You can come and hang out over there, and I will happily share it with you. I just don't like sharing the Google Sheet just without going through that other stuff first. All right, back to it. Oh, that's Spotter. Okay, so now I just generated this, and it came out, this prompt wasn't exactly what I wanted, and I said, make it closer to the sample image, and it just remixed it, and it actually came out much closer to the sample image that I wanted, so I just generated it. And you're going to have some that don't turn out great. And then what I did, I'll show you like the last step. You could do this free with Canva. There's actually one thing that I used that was in the Canva Pro one. So all I did is I took those images and I added a little bit of text on top. And one little hack for a thumbnail that I'll tell you, if you brighten up your character, it actually makes it pop a little bit more. So I did duplicate the layer and remove the background from the front one, just lined it up, and then erased the back. You could use that if you want. And if you wanted them to look similar to mine, again, I'm right here to click here. Don't know if this is today's or tomorrow's. Oh, look how serious I looked. These came out a little dark, but I lightened up the background. These are the same images. That's like the one that I used right there. But I just cut myself out and brightened myself up and left the background dark and add a little bit of text. And that was my thumbnail. And these are doing really well for me. And if you want to have a similar one, just use that same seed or find out one that works for you. And then you're able to automate it. If you like me doing videos like this, where I'm just going over the flow and the funnel that I'm using, just let me know in the comments, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And also if you watch these live, just let me know, put a hashtag live in the comments. Let me know what platform you're watching on, because I do go live to YouTube as well as X. And I'm still waiting for a pending period, but I'm going to think about probably starting going live to Facebook as well. I want to make sure that I'm always focusing on our conversation together when I go live, and not necessarily just trying to use it to I prefer to have a better conversation than go to live in multiple places, if that makes sense. Oh, I was mentioning about Radar. So there's a couple different ways that you could upload stuff to this. So you could just upload something manually by clicking the little plus button on the day, little plus, like here's today. And you could just schedule it. If you hit channel, then you could add all the different channels, places that you want to schedule them to. And then there's also two ways that you could bulk upload. One way is that you could just hit bulk upload, and then there's upload multiple files, and then you could just drag them all in, and then they're uploaded, and you just have to schedule them after they're uploaded. But the other way to do it is by creating something called a CSV. It's basically an Excel file, but more generic. But if you do that, they'll let you download an example one, and I just open it up in Sheets. You could do whichever one you want, but it will give you this type of file where it'll give you the examples. But then I created like this one. Actually, got to fill this one in more because I have more reels that I got to schedule. But you could just have the date you want it started. You could have the title and a caption. And if there is no title or caption, sometimes there's just a caption, sometimes there's just a title. But if one of these categories isn't relevant, it just skips over it. And then I have this little hack that I use to use Dropbox. Like this, it works. So you could go get a free Dropbox account to host these things in. Obviously, if it's video, it's going to fill up a little bit faster than photos. But if you get a Dropbox link and you share it, it typically will look like this with a 0 at the end. But if you switch it to a 1, it becomes a download link. And if somebody clicks it, it just downloads to their computer instead of it opening up a Dropbox website where they could view the image or the video. And when you schedule it, you're going to take this file, hit like file, download, and then download it as a CSV, a comma separated value. And then you go back over to Radar and you literally just drop it in here. And because you already have everything designed on the sheet, you have the date where it's going to be posted, date and time, the type of content. In this case, it's a reel, the title, caption, and the media type. And then you could also have scheduled, or let me show you the example right here. You could also say draft, and it would just schedule everything as draft and not actually schedule it. But then you'd have to go through everything and switch it whenever you're ready. But since I'm uploading a bunch of images at once, like this, here's my image one, where I do the same thing, where I have the date, single image, which is just like an Instagram post. Then I want some text, and look, it gives this link, which leads to, click it, my landing page right there, capture emails. I woke up with more leads than when I went to bed with because I automate this stuff going out all the time. Think about it. Think about it. And then I did the same thing with Dropbox, and where I changed the link from 0 to 1. And if you have a different solution to host it, power to you. I'm just giving you a free way to do it. You don't have to do it the way that I'm telling you. Just do what works for you. And then I just put it scheduled. Cool. So here we go. All right. So then that's just one type of content that I get. So I get all of this content that goes out, images. I showed you the reels. And then I also have text posts that look like this that are helpful. If you see some of them are just like actually giving out prompts, you're going to use a different one for your type of content. And also, I'm still testing it, by the way, but I'm testing sending out it's still a very new account. I just started the other day, but slowly and steadily, I'm getting some followers on here. This is Blue Sky. It's just a Twitter competitor. So I'm feeling like they don't. One thing that's really cool about this one is if you actually look at like Facebook, like this is a Facebook page that I'm slowly growing. You're gonna eventually get some likes as people start watching your reels and stuff like that. You get these posts, and some people are gonna see them. But with this platform so far, with Blue Sky, one thing that's really cool is that it doesn't show that it was posted by any kind of bot or any kind of like automation. So it just shows that it was posted because it goes through their API, which doesn't charge anything. One thing that's not as good about it is that you need to have a separate email address and it's a full account that you have to create. But look, like occasionally I'll retweet something or retweet. So it's not a retweet, it's Blue Sky. It's a different platform. What are they calling it? They're calling it posting, not popping up. I do a little bit of a manual engagement because it's something I'm testing out, but it's the same exact type of stuff. And look, there's a reel. And on mobile, these actually come out as perfectly vertical videos, just like on any other platform. So point is that you could create content on multiple platforms and share it out and automate it with AI, generate the content with AI, help if you want to do lives like I'm doing right now, you can hang out with somebody once a day. Think about it. If your job is just hanging out with friends online while we stream and we just chat about stuff like this once a day. Oh yeah, of course, everyday intention HQ. I'm glad that you like the review of Replicate. I love it, by the way. I've been making so much content with it. One of the things that I really love about Replicate is that it's not you pay only for what you use. You're literally renting CPU space, and you could set up the whole entire LoRa that I set up, again, LoRa is basically the model that I'm using. If you have a powerful computer, there's ways you could just go set it up and not pay anything but the cost of electricity that you're using. But the reason why Replicate costs money is because you're actually renting server space to render your image, and then you download it locally. If you're going to use Replicate, just know that you're just using Replicate's server space. So if you don't use it at all, it's not going to cost you a penny. But there's so many AI tools that I use that I pay a subscription for. And if I get busy and I don't use it for the month, the bill still comes in at the end of the month. But with Replicate, if I don't use it, if I use it a lot, it's going to cost me a little bit more. The most I've spent in an entire month, I think, is $11. And that was because I was generating half a year's worth of content. $11 for half a year's worth of content. So just think about that. That's crazy, right? So yeah, if you do ever have questions again about Replicate, I'm always happy to help. If you need setup help, I do offer one-on-one time, but that does have a cost. But again, just go to my school, ask the questions over there. Always happy to answer. Just ask in the comments, and I'm happy to help you as much as I can. Also, just come to these, and if it's something that you could do in public, I'll happily show you these. But here's one other thing I'll show you. This is where I learned it. Right here. It's actually, already have it up. Where'd it go? There it is. So if you don't know who Matt Wolf is, he is somebody that he covers a whole bunch of AI topics. And here's this video from 4 months ago. If you go to his YouTube channel, click on videos, scroll down, it's this image of him like looking like Superman. Watch this video and follow the tutorial. He is not wrong on how to set it up. I followed the tutorial and it worked. So it 100% works. So go follow this tutorial and you will be able to set everything up exactly how I did. If you have questions, again, jump into my school. I'm happy to help you as much as I can. But yeah, I love Replicate. It's one of my favorite ways to run these LoRa's, and I don't need anything else for my images or thumbnails. It works great. It works really good and it looks good. But yeah, Matt Wolf has a great tutorial. I would just follow that as a first step. All right, so I know the other thing I wanted to show you. Here is, I'm going to go over this. I need to share a different screen. 1 second. Now I'm going to show you what I did for yesterday's video. But I have to run it in a different browser because it's not compatible with Safari. There we go. Just share this again. So the tool that I use to edit with, and I'm telling you, I've edited for a long time. Like I started editing back in like the late 90s. What I do is I bring these videos in here. So I just took this live stream from yesterday and I brought it in here. And this was the file. So here, I'll just create a new composition real quick just to show you since we're all here hanging out. And this is the file. So I have this file is one that I brought in. And you see it's about an hour and 10 minutes long. Now, all what I had to do in order to get this ready to repost as a repurposed video is I go to Underlord, because there's no overlords with AI and Descript. There is only the underlords. Let me just show you. It's easyaiedits.com if you did want to grab it. If you do sign up for those things, that's a recurring affiliate link. It helps my channel, it helps me make these videos so I can help you succeed and make money with AI. Let me find the right tab again since I clicked on stuff. What I could do here is a couple quick things. Look, first I say remove filler words. Boom, boom, hit that button. It found 584 filler words where I say I repeat a word. So grab, it's going to collect all of these when I repurpose it. I'm going to have to make sure I don't mess that up. That was a real one. But you could see all of these different slips. How often, I got to watch how much I say this stuff. But now I could just hit remove all. And just with that one click, let's see how much it takes away. Boom, boom. There it goes. Large project notification. Got it. Got it. So it shaved off about a little over 5 minutes just by taking out all of my ums. Geez, man. So now it's all cleaned up. And then what I do is I go to the beginning and I like to just clean up the very beginning and end. And there's one other step that I'm going to do. And I'm just showing you how quickly I can repurpose a live stream. I'm not even using the one because it actually uploads everything to the top up into the cloud. And now I'm editing from the file that's in the cloud. It's not using any of my computer processing power. And now all I need to do is go back to the top. And there's other one that I use called Edit for Clarity. Hit that. Now I do low because I don't want it to cut out too much, the lowest setting. And then it uses AI. I use AI speech, which what that means is since you're technically uploading a whole bunch of audio files to your computer, all what I do is I'll turn that on, click Dunk, which is the name of my AI voice that I created. And it keeps on building. Every time you make another project, it improves on the model. And now all I need to do is hit submit. And it's just going to take a minute and it is going to cut down the video. And if it finds a spot where I say something that doesn't magically get fixed with AI, see it marked all these things that can be cut out. All you do is hit the back remove ignored text from script. And it's currently generating the AI version of my voice just to fill in those gaps. Done. Look at that. Video says 1 hour and 4 minutes and 52 seconds. Oh, wait, actually, no, sorry, click it right there. Now it's 56 minutes and 33 seconds, 0.7. And all I need to do now is come right here and click publish and wait for it to render in the cloud. It's not even using the CPU power on my computer. And once that render is done, I can click. I'll just show you right here so you can see, but I could even share it with you or say I'm doing this for somebody else. They say shorts, but it's rendering the entire video right now. And once that's done, I can just download it onto my computer and it is done. The other thing that I did is I created, I'll just do this again. We'll do it all. You can just grab your image part. Like here's shorts. So this is the whole video, but see, it's just me without any of the stuff on top of me. And I can just grab this and drag this back onto the screen. It's going to do the same stuff. And this is even easier. And go to Underlord, scroll down here to where it says create clips. And now it's something to Opus clip. If you ever use that, it's just going to clip this entire video. And I give it an idea of what the type of content that I have down here under topic, which is optional. But then I just tell it to make me 20 clips. I like to keep them under a minute just because some platforms prefer it and they're a little bit more engaging, especially when you're talking about just a talking head thing. And I just hit, where's the button? Click this again. Great clip. It's not showing this though. Oh, here. There it is. Hit submit. And it's just going to clip all of these videos, this entire clip, the hour and 10. It's going to find all these things. Dun, 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 dun. Clip. Might take a moment. Definitely takes less time than if I did it manually. It's almost done. If you wanted to cancel, you hit stop. And there you go. So now you have these clips. And if you click on one, it's going to bring it up right here. And it's going to show the parts that it cut out. And what I typically do is I'll just watch through it one time. And if there's anything else that needs to be cleaned up, like for instance, I might move where the text is. So if it makes sense, like I remember this one, I was low and I usually just delete that and boom, you'd have a clip and you'd do the same thing, publish, and then you export. And what I do with those is I actually post those particular ones on YouTube when I re-upload this video onto YouTube as an edited video. And then I use those shorts to send traffic from the shorts reel, the YouTube shorts reel, back to those re-uploaded videos, which get more people to discover my content, which makes more people be able to subscribe to my channel, which gets me more ad revenue, which helps me teach people how to make passive income with AI and how to have $1,000 days with AI by generating leads with AI. Don't expect it to be a certain number right off the bat, but you could definitely get there. And with tools like this, with AI, it just shortcuts things like crazy. And whatever your niche is, but I just created a whole entire repurposed video of this in like 5 minutes while live with you. Like, also, if I wanted, I could share this with people. This is a really cool tool. If you have people that are collaborating with you, because now they could make a note about a particular part of the video. And if it's something that you're doing a little bit more deep with the team, it's a great tool to use. Again, easyaedits.com. And I do send those through Cloudflare, so they are not going to be able to be flagged for as like a redirect. There's a little hack that I use, and that video is on this channel, by the way, if you wanted to see how I did that. Cool. All right, that's almost done, but I do find it's an hour-long video. It might take a little bit longer to render, but it's doing it in the cloud. It's not bogging down my computer. I'm able to render it while I am live streaming right here with you. These things can really help you succeed as you move forward through 2025. And again, I was pointing out how I was doing these things with AI and that you could do them manually and not just doing one video, one image a day. I want to be able to have time freedom. I want to be able to do things and spend time with the people that I care about. If I want to just be able to hang out with you and just do this because it's what I want to do. I never want to do something because I have to do it. I want to do things because I want to do it. So when you create these traffic streams that are going to basically make you income and get you leads to whatever your business is, I nerd out about AI stuff. I nerd out about tech. I nerd out about DeFi, but that's a different channel. I have another channel that I don't talk about that stuff as much on this channel. But I nerd out about all that stuff and I enjoy that stuff, but I don't want to have to think about how I need that to be my income stream. I just want the income stream to be automated as much as possible. And if you ask me, I feel like the income, or I think the AI, the direction AI is moving, and I'm sure you've heard this term thrown around, but it's probably going to be going down this path of AI agents. And they exist now and it's loosely connected. But you could look at things like, I'll show, if you haven't seen this thing yet, look, this is crazy. This is what I'm talking about. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, go check this tool out. It will give you an idea of what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like this tool right here. This is like a beta version. It's like early testing version, but go check this tool out. This is your homework. Go check out this tool. It is mind blowing how cool this is. Mind blowing. You could go tell it, go reply to all my comments, and this bot will go and reply. You don't need to have any kind of automations. You don't need to have any kind of connections that are already built in. Have you ever heard of the tool Zapier? Zapier is basically if this then that type platform. So it'd be like if something happens over here, cause a trigger that makes this thing happen. Be like, oh, if somebody fills in this form, take the data and enter it into my Google Sheet, and then that Google Sheet fills in, and then say, okay, if something enters into that Google Sheet, then take it and like maybe one column is emails. Oh, now take those emails and add them into my email autoresponder. Okay, when somebody hits the email autoresponder, the autoresponder starts an automation that then gets somebody to start sending emails. So that's all done with something like Zapier. But I feel like the way that things are going to be going is you're going to have things like this, like AI agents that are going to start taking over for you. And you're not going to have direct integrations like Zapier. I think Zapier, you need to get a little worried if you ask me. You should be a little bit worried, Zapier, because I feel like you need to come up with your own AI agents or you're screwed because I think you're going to be obsolete pretty soon unless you become the AI agent, which they probably will be. Let's be perfectly honest. They've been around a long time. But this tool, it's early access. So no, it's still in like beta, but I think it costs like 25 bucks a month if you did want to try it out. But you could take this tool and tell it to do things just by speaking to it or typing into little things like on the side of your browser, and it will do tasks on your computer for you. So all those things that you were sitting there doing manually, just have it do that manually, have it do it automatically for you. And I could see how you could, as a business owner, you could have a remote server, like basically a Windows operating remotely, and just have this running on here and doing all these tasks for you remotely. And I feel like eventually it's going to become very much not just on a computer browser, but all APIs that are just doing things for you. And this is what direction it's going to be going. So uh, I think that when people get frustrated about how AI is taking over. It's going to take it took my job, whatever. Think about like 20 years ago. What jobs are here today that didn't exist 20 years ago? What jobs are here 20 years ago that didn't exist 20 years before that? And as new jobs are created, new opportunities, the types of jobs are going to shift. So if you say, hey, I've done this my entire life, this is what I do, you need to be able to pivot. You need to be able to evolve. So if you are one of those people that's going to be aware of what's happening and take advantage of it, like what I'm doing, I'm going to take advantage of this as much as possible, like as much as I possibly can, because I'm either going to be one of those people that's bitching and complaining, things changed, or I could be one of those people that took over. Like I can guarantee that things didn't exist. Like the internet didn't even exist pretty much 30 years ago. Think about that. 30 years ago, when I was a kid, Like if I wanted to change a font, I had to go find the floppy, the floppy disk to find the font that I wanted to and load the font into the computer that didn't even have a hard drive. Like we've come so far. Nobody was even thinking about the jobs that exist today because there was no concept of them ever existing. I'd say take advantage of all of these AI automations. And yes, you're going to need to use some jerry rigging to get it to work now. But over the next year, it's going to just be astronomically better. Like I 100% believe this. Like these things, you're going to have an assistant that basically does all of this stuff for you. All these manual things that I'm showing you that you could do, you will end up training an assistant that will do it for you. And if you're not the one that trains it, you could be that person. Like for instance, maybe I create an AI agent that does all these things, and then you hire my AI agent. And then, like I said, maybe you pay a subscription to my AI agent, and that's an employee that you could hire from me. And if you think about it, that's way more scalable than a typical agency where you'd have to hire people maybe remotely or people local. I want to leave you on that. That is really the direction that all of this stuff is going. Cool. All right, cool. Let me see. As this is a reminder, go check out Spotter again. I can't emphasize how much that tool actually helps me and how cool it is. Here, I'll bring it up again. How cool it is that they're doing this giveaway. Again, just go and sign up for the trial. Set this one right here. More views fast. And that's not a lie. It's gotten me more views fast and it helps me a lot. So go and grab this. They're giving away $25,000 in this giveaway. All you need to do is create a trial account. You can cancel it right away. But you see right there, there's 9.5 hours left to enter. All these projects, go to new project and then start a project. Keep on it. You can make a whole bunch of these in the next 9.5 hours if you want, and those would all be additional entries. And if not, cancel right away if that's what you choose. But if you're like me, you're going to get addicted to this and you're going to love it. And you're going to realize that this is the best SN tool that I've been able to find. But if you don't like it, then go ahead and cancel. But again, there is a giveaway that is going on just for the next 9.5 hours. And so don't miss it out. You can go to moreviewsfast.com and just grab it. Just trust me, this is like one of the, it's super cool. All right. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I do appreciate when you do come hang out. It gives me something to actually be able to learn that I'm helping you like figure out what issues everybody is having so I could actually help. Because that's what I'm after. I want to find out how I can automate your problems, because when you let me know what your issues are, what your problems are, I could figure out solutions. And then, hey, you know what? That solves the problem for me too. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out. Go to moreviewsfast.com and grab your Spotter trial and create a whole bunch of projects before midnight Pacific time, which is California time. I will see everybody next time. Peace out. Bye.